Hey everybody, Tony D and Little Joan here with a hot take on Joe Biden's speech. And you might say, is this a still from the speech? No, this is actually moving video from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. This goes on for a ridiculously long period of time, several minutes. See, I'll jump down. There's 2 minutes, 3.5 minutes, 4.5 minutes, 5.5 minutes. Just goes on and on and on, right? I've said before that the 6 minutes, the Biden administration is run by people who cut their teeth on public access and never got any better in their TV presentation. There's 6.5 minutes. Finally, at the 7-minute mark, the doors open up, and then Biden does this like long ridiculous walk. The Marines let him in. You wonder why I put Get Smart music underneath. I should have done the opening and the close. Why would you make the old man walk this way? It doesn't make any sense. And then, of course, he's got his mask, and he takes it off. And look, I'm not going to play the sound because YouTube will probably flag me. They'll probably flag me on that parody video. But Biden's speech was just, in my estimation, Scott Adams seemed to think it was okay, which I was surprised he said that. It came off to me. First off, Biden comes off as very weak and frail. He's not strong. He looks like he's been crying a little, or he's very upset. Everything's dark and gloomy, and he seems depressed. He actually seems so depressed that when he offers up at the end the July 4th possibility, the possibility you might be able to get together with a small group of people if you're good, he offers that up as if we're just as depressed and sad as him about the beer virus. I know, Joan. Joan's not waiting that long, are you, Joan? Here, go do doggy things. So, I think it was a little bit of an insight to watch old man Joe say these things. Look at how concerned, and then there he looks a little shifty. But, you know, he has this thing in his pocket with the tally of the number of people who have died. We all know why he has that tally. It has nothing to do with, oh, I got to keep it close to my heart. It has everything to do with Joe Biden can't remember anything. So he probably had to pull this out early on to remind himself what the hell he was supposed to talk about. And all he talked about was the beer virus, basically. And talking about wearing a mask, talking about being in this together. Joe Biden has shown zero connection to anybody. His dogs did not help, right? I don't even believe the new dog was really his. I think they got him a second dog. They said, oh, we need another dog. Now they're getting him a cat. It's like you could just hear the PR guys in the background going, okay, we got to get rid of the dogs. What are we going to do? What are we going to do? Well, let's get him a cat. Okay, we'll get him a cat. That sounds good. The cat won't bite people. Might scratch people. Yeah, but we'll get him an older cat. No one will know the difference. Oh, okay. I mean, that's how cynical I believe it is. It's Joe Biden's team constantly trying to refine this. Not that anybody watched. It was so boring, which is another reason I'm not going to play it. I mean, there's almost nothing to refute here. The only thing to refute is I don't believe any of it. I don't believe Joe Biden is truthful. He'll say anything to get you to agree with him or shut up or just go along with the program. He makes these wild assumptions, number one of which is, you know, that we're going to be locked down until July. And then maybe you'll get to go out one day with a small group of people. It sounds more like a threat than a promise, Joe. Scott Adams summed it up best, too, in his critique of this. He said, which is why I'm so surprised he said it was decent speech for him. But he said, when Joe Biden got to that moment and said the thing about July 4th, my reaction was F you. And that was exactly my reaction too. Like, F you, man. I'm not waiting until July 4th if I want to get together with people. What are you, insane? I got to wait until Grandpa gives me permission. And then the thought occurred to me, Joe is that old. Maybe he's doing this just for his own personal safety. Maybe it's been all about him all along. Maybe he's that scared, or they got him that scared. Maybe his dementia has pushed him to the point where all he can think about every day is, oh, I can't get the beer virus, I'll die. There's a simple solution to that, Joe. Retire and lock yourself in your house with your millions of Chinese dollars. There he is, looking mean. And just get out of our lives. Get out of our lives. Kamala Harris would be better at this point, I think. As much as I think she'll be a disaster too, at least she won't be an accidental embarrassment or a disaster. I would rather have her go up against the Chinese than Joe. The Chinese are laughing at us. They're absolutely laughing themselves. It's just sad. And this whole speech to me was sad. He mumbled. He didn't enunciate words. I've done that, but I'm not the president. If I'm giving a speech and I'm president, I'm gonna practice. I'm gonna be ready. I'm gonna wake up. Sometimes here, I gotta admit, I'm a little lax, a little tired. I gotta get my 4th video on. Jones driving me nuts. If I was president, I wouldn't do that. I would be much more focused. He needs to be much more focused. And one thing you can say about Trump, he was always focused. He was ready to talk. Moment's notice. Boom. He'd give a presser. He was amazing that way. This shambling old man, I don't know why he's up there. Look at him. Look how tired he looks. He just looks so old and tired and horrible. And, there's just no reason for this. Look at that expression. It's like, I'm the president, I guess. I mean, the Chinese are going to run us over with this guy in charge. We have to remove him from office. When are the Democrats going to do that? And then, of course, the exit, which you saw in my previous video, it's just ridiculous to make him walk all this distance. Why are we seeing this? The smarter videos cut all this stuff off. But why did they shoot it at all? Why would they shoot this at all? Why not have a curtain? Why have all these flags? What are all these flags? I guess they're the state flags. Yeah, I guess so. It's kind of hard to tell. They look like state flags. Why does everything have to be different with this guy? And then this. AP, please monitor our website for details of upcoming live events. So it just goes right to that. But Joe Biden, he's just falling apart up there. And if this is probably the height of his presidency, I think you're seeing. Now, I think Scott does have a point in that some people wanted to hear him say comforting things. And he did say some comforting things, but he's so damn depressing. He's so focused on the negative. He's not talking about like, well, we're going to get out of this and it's all going to be great. No, he's like, well, if things go okay, that doesn't sound like a leader. That sounds like a guy who's hedging his bet on everything so he can go, well, see, I told you it was going to be bad. Who the hell wants to hear that if we're in the middle of the deadliest pandemic in history? Mr. Deadly Pandemic takes the credit for all the vaccine work. These guys won't even mention Trump. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous how they pretend he doesn't exist. It really is like 1984, or the Stalinist purges, I guess. They're really trying to erase him from history. And it's sad to watch. It's just sad to watch grown adult people who went to high school, at least, probably went to college, read 1984, and reenacted. These are the same people who called out George W. Bush for his Orwellian policies, and now here they are. They can't wait. Oh, we get to make our Orwellian policies. Oh, great. Oh, it'll be different when we do it, though. It'll be different. You know, it's just those right-wing evil Trump supporters that'll suffer, not us. Oh, it'll be great for us. No, everybody's suffering. And these lefties are all tearing themselves apart. Can't happen soon enough. So my expectation with Biden is at some point when they decide to get rid of him, they'll take him aside. They'll say, Joe, are you done? I think it's time to go. And if Joe agrees, great. And if he doesn't, that's when they cut his knees out. That's when they start letting stuff leak about him and threaten to jail Hunter, and you know, they'll put some stuff out and they'll hint that if you don't go, we'll make you go. But I think he will go. I mean, he just seems out of it. He seems barely able to make it through the speech. There's no way this guy could do a presser. No way. No way he ever does one. That's my prediction. He will not take questions from reporters ever. Because unless it's a guy like Anderson Cooper or something on tape, there's no reason to do it. No reason at all. He'll keep ducking it until he either retires or they take him out of office. You know? And I think it'll be easy to take him out of office. I honestly do. I think he's right on the verge. He's barely holding it together. It's not going to take much. It's not going to take much for him to step aside. So, this whole speech confirmed my fears of Joe Biden. He's just too old, too frail, and he should retire immediately.